Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thirsty Thursday call. This is Wayne Euler, your host of the call, and I want to welcome you. It's a call we've been doing now since around 2008 when I first got involved with Monavie in January, and it's just evolved and developed over the years to a call that we've continued to do every Thursday, and we bring leaders on the call. We bring people who are experiencing recent success, have new tips and not guidelines, but just strategies to share. So welcome to the call. If this is your first time on the call and you want to get connected with us in social media platforms, just send a text message. That's right, get your cell phone out, and you're going to send a text message to 50500. Okay, that's the number, 50500. It's a short code. And you're gonna use the word Thursday, okay? So just send Thursday to 50500. You'll get one message from us, and it'll have a link to our mailing list, which will give you more information on connecting with us on Facebook and so on and so forth. Now, those of you who know me, you know I am way into social media. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, I mean, the list goes on. And for anybody who's interested in training on social media, I did put a link in our Facebook group. There's information there for you. I suggest you take a look at it. It could be very helpful for you. Here's the thing, guys, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but if you're going to do stuff on Facebook to try to promote your business, and to try to promote you. If you're going to do that, let's learn how to do it correctly. There are some things that you can learn that can help you in this process. I see a lot of people doing things that are probably hurting them more than helping them in the business. So the training will help you with setting things up. It will help you with privacy settings. It will help you with a lot of things on your journey to doing social media. Should it replace the activities that your upline instructs you to do in the business? No, not at all. You definitely want to follow your upline and the activities that they have for you in building this business belly to belly. But if you are going to spend some time online, this is a brief training. It won't take up a lot of your time, and I think you'll find a lot of value in it. So there's my plug. I will say this also. I mentioned before I started the recording tonight that my daughter kicked my iPhone off the chair today and busted my LCD screen. So I cannot see who's calling me, and I can't make calls, but I can answer the call. And there's a reason why I'm telling you this story, and I think it's interesting. I'm a pretty much a fix-it person. Whether it's toilets, if you follow me on Facebook, I fixed 3 toilets this week. Boy, was that fun. I put brakes on a car last week. I just like working with my hands, and I like doing things. And I went and I looked at the video for what I got to do to fix this iPhone. And I've done iPhones before, but the iPhone 4 in particular, I think it must have, 30 or 40 screws in there. And when I'm watching this guy go through the process of taking this phone apart, I've taken them apart before. I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, the monotonous of all these screws and little pieces and parts, and I think most of us would look at this and just get overwhelmed and say, I'm just going to go get a new phone, or here, Wayne, will you do it for me? There's a reason why I'm telling you this story, and that's this.
Okay, hey everybody, how's it going? This is Wayne again. Sorry about the hiccup there. Skype decided to drop my call. So I stole my wife's phone. So we'll do this with my wife's phone. So listen, the story I was trying to tell you was that I saw that this iPhone could take so much to take it apart and to fix it. I mean, there's 30 screws in this thing. It's ridiculous. And this is what I'm trying to say is this. The steps of this business are so basic and so just paint by numbers. They're nowhere near as complex and complicated as it's going to be for me to tear this iPhone apart to replace the LCD screen in it. And so I want to tell you this, that if you follow your upline, if you follow your leaders, and you follow the system that's put in place, this is a simple business. It's not hard. It's not complex. You don't have to learn a whole bunch of stuff on a computer. You don't have to learn all different systems and processes and procedures. And yet, those of you out there that own businesses and have these things set up in your business know how difficult and how complex it is to build that business. So I just wanted to share tonight at the beginning of the call, because there will be 2 callers on tonight, so I wanted to take up a little bit of the time at the beginning just to share a little bit. It's something that just dawned on me today as I went through this ordeal with my iPhone. It was $38 to get the parts ordered, and they're on their way. I just want to wait to upgrade till the iPhone 6 comes out, right? And so I'd rather do that than go buy a whole new iPhone. And so I'll put up with the complexity and the craziness of taking this iPhone apart and taking these itty-bitty, tiny, itsy-bitsy screws out and ordering them and placing them in a perfect place so I know which ones go in when I go to put the whole thing back together. So if you're new to Monavie, if you're new to this business, this industry, I just want to encourage you to hang in there. The steps and the things that you have to do are not that complex. Because they're new to you, they may appear to be a little complex. You know what I'm saying? Anything new is going to be a little challenging for someone. But anybody who sticks with it, takes the time to learn what they got to do step by step, follow their upline. Anybody who does that is going to see success in this business. And what's exciting is you're going to hear some people share tonight on the success that they're experiencing by doing just simply that, following the system, following the steps, and putting one foot in front of the other, and they're going through and experiencing success in this business. So I'm excited to hear what they have to share with us tonight, and you're going to want to get your notebooks out. You never know when you're going to hear a nugget or you're going to hear something that can change your business like starting tomorrow. And that was one of the reasons why we put this call together, was because we wanted to have something to kind of help close off the week. It's Thursday, and we called it the Thirsty Thursday because only those that really thirst for more out of life are going to be on this call. Now, that's the way we look at it. We do it at 10 o'clock at night. We give people time to have an HBR, one-on-one, do whatever they got to do, and then get a chance to get on the call. Is my phone still? No, my phone should be good now. So, welcome, and we're going to get started here. So our first callers that I'm going to bring on is Kent and Nadine Pickett from Alberta, Canada, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. And they got started in April of 2012 with Monavie. And I just want to take some time and kind of interview them a little bit, hear about what they were doing before they got started and what it took for them to get to where they are today. So Kent and Nadine, are you guys with me?
This is Kent. My wife is traveling back from Utah to Canada today, so she's not able to be on the phone with us.
Hey, that's okay, Kent. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Doing great. Well, I'm glad to have you on the phone, on the call tonight. So Kent, tell us a little bit about what was going on in late April of 2012, just before you found out about Monavie. I mean, how did you find out about Monavie?
I have a good friend of mine, Jeff Zazula, and he came over for supper. I think it was the 29th of April in 2012, and I'm an income tax accountant, and that's right near the very end. The last day is the 30th, so it's the night before the last day of tax season, which is our busiest time of year. And so I came home from supper, and our friends, the Zazulas, were over for supper, and our friends, the Allenbachs, were over for supper. And after supper, Jeff says, "Can I share something with you?" We said, "Of course." And he showed us Monavie. And I knew that after this presentation, I had to go back to work. And I wasn't just going back for an hour or so. I was going to work all night long and then stay for the next shift the next day and not be able to leave my office until 10 o'clock at night. And so running two businesses and the tax business being very busy, and I was not looking for another business. But I was looking for good health, and I trusted my friend Jeff. And so my friend Larry was very excited. And so he signed up, and then I signed up under Larry. And that's how we got started. We just started out as consumers. Really, for the first year, that's really all we did was just consume the product.
Wow. And so obviously, I mean, you got results on the product, you and your family. I mean, tell us a little bit about that. I mean, to consume it for a year straight, not even touching the business, tells me you found value in consuming the product each and every day. Can you share just a little bit about that without going in any, claims and whatnot, but just share us a little bit about how Monavie, kept you drinking for a year before activating the business?
Sure. My wife's experience is a little bit different than mine, but for me, I didn't really feel a difference inside when I was taking the juice. I just knew that it was good for me, and so I took it for a while. Then we went away on a vacation, and we didn't take our juice with us. Actually, we did take some, but it fell out of the back of the car and smashed all over the place, and so we didn't have any for our holiday. And at the end of the 2 weeks, I missed it. I didn't know that I would miss it, but I missed it. My body was craving the goodness from the juice, and I knew that it was good for me. And so when we got back home, we immediately went back on the juice and been on it ever since.
Wow. And I have a similar testimonies with it. When I first got on it, I was shared just 2 bottles. And after 2 bottles, I just couldn't believe. I felt run down, body was aching, having a hard time focusing. And I knew one thing. I just wanted to get back on that juice. Get back on it. So what got you to where you wanted to do the business? So after a year, what happens now after a year in the business that says, hey, you know what? We got 2 businesses. Let's go build a third.
Well, I'll tell you what. For us, it was more that I guess I came to the conclusion that I wasn't running my business anymore. My business was running me. I was working crazy hours, still am working crazy hours, and leave home at 7 and don't leave the office till 11, and not getting time to spend with my family, with my wife. And I just got to the point where I said, there's got to be something better. And then my wife and I, we thought, you know what, we've got to give something a try, because I'm going to have a heart attack by the time I'm 50. And that's not the kind of life that I want to live, or the legacy that I want to live. Is you work hard until you drop. That's not what life is all about. And so we went down to Edmonton and saw Rex Crane and Mark McDonald, and that's when I guess I really made the decision that let's really move forward with this. My 2 teenage sons got really excited about the business, and that kind of fired me up a little bit, and thought, you know what, let's do it. Let's see what happens, what we can do with this.
Now I'm going to ask you, and especially since you dropped a few key names there, Rex Crane and Mark McDonald, can you tell us anything? What was it? What is there any one thing, or what can you tell us about that meeting that give me a little more about that. What was it there that made you decide, okay, I want to build this? What was it that you saw? What was it you experienced? And I'm kind of digging a little bit here because we have an event coming up in Utah in August. so this is the perfect time just to kind of share what that event did for you. What was it about Mark McDonald or Rex Crane or the event in general that caused you to make this solid decision to build a business?
Well, I guess really for me it was the quality of the people at the event made me realize this is a serious business. This isn't just a, some sort of multi-level go-buy soap kind of business. This is a serious business about serious health products that really can shape and change people's lives. And I thought, man, if I'm going to get involved in another business, wouldn't it be great to be involved in a business that shaped people's lives and helped them physically and financially at the same time? And I get to work with my friends and have fun. And that's really was a game changer for me. I was no longer having any fun in my other business. It was just work. And this is fun.
Awesome. It says here, you wrote in my survey that I sent, you said, when we decided to engage in the business, it took us 3 to 4 weeks to go gold. We just set a goal, got serious, got help, support from those in our group, and went for it. So, wow, it literally took you 3 to 4 weeks from the time that you decided to go gold to actually do it.
Yeah. Quite.
Congratulations, by the way.
Well,
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. We thought, you know what? Let's tax season just finished for us, and we thought, let's really take this thing and put our noses down and get to work and go share it with some friends and have some fun, and that's really all we did. We had some challenges and bumps along the way in order to reach that goal, but the bottom line is we had fantastic support from our team, both above us and below us, and I prefer to use those who got in before us and those who got in after us. I'm for whatever reason, I don't like the upline and downline terminology. I just prefer those who got involved before us and those who got involved after us. We're all a team, and I love the team concept where if I want to grow my business, the best way I can do it is to help someone else grow their business. And if those above me want to grow their business, the best way they can do that is to help me grow my business. And if they're my friends and I want to help them grow their business that are above me, the best thing I can do for them is grow my business. And so it's just a friends helping friends business. And, like I said, we had some significant challenges in at least one particular week where Friday, of course, is the cutoff. And I had been away at a business conference all week. And as the week we wanted to go gold. And I came home Friday morning, landed at the airport about midnight, and slept over at my friend Dewey's house. And about 1 o'clock by the time I got to bed, and we had exactly 115 points in our one leg. Of course, we need 5,000, so we had to really go to town and go to work in one single day to reach our goal. But we didn't let that stop us, and those on our team didn't let that stop us. They believed in us, and we believed in ourselves, and we got her done.
Wow. You had how many points to start the day? 115?
115, yeah.
Wow. And I can remember, that's an amazing story, and that's what happened to me when I first went Ruby. I was on a Friday, and I needed 3,000 points to go Ruby. And I just set my mind to it and said, hey, let's go do it, and we did it. And I know what a rush that was that night when you finally let your head hit the pillow and said, yes, we did it. So tell me, you guys, what are you doing that's working for you? You guys are using the scanner, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're using the scanner. It's a fantastic tool. It proves the validity of the juice. So nobody has to just take our word for it. We can prove it. Nice. And then the other thing that we do is we work closely as a team. So in Fort McMurray, we're a little bit segregated from everywhere else, but we have a really strong team here. And so we have HBRs at one at Larry's house every week, one at our house every week, one at the Simpsons' house every week, and whoever else wants to host one. And so we all work together and help each other.
That's awesome. So what how has Monavie, in the time that you've been involved with it, how has Monavie given you or added to or provided a more meaningful life for you and your family?
For us, or for me, the big why is I would love to sell my other businesses and have a life again, and be able to spend quality time with my wife and my kids, and with the current businesses that I have, for the most part, it's just not a possibility. And so the why for me is not money. We're not that we're rich by any means, but we do okay. So the why for me is quality time with my family, and so we make that a goal, and we know that Monavie now is going to be the answer to that goal, and we absolutely believe that. And we just have a fantastic team. The Simpsons are fantastic, and we can't wait for them to go gold, and we'll celebrate with them when that happens.
Awesome. So what tip would you give to somebody who's just getting started out in the business, maybe they've been drinking, they were just drinking the product for a while, and now they've made a decision to build the business? What is a tip that you would give for someone who wants to get started on a quest for gold? Just share a little bit about what you would tell a new person who comes to you in your downline, or people that got in after you, someone who got in after you. What would you tell them if they said, hey, Kent, I want to do what you just did? Now we know activity-wise, I know that part, but I know it's more than just activities.
Yeah.
Some of it has to do with making decisions and stuff like that. So what would you tell someone new that says, hey, I want to do what you did?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's more than just activity. You need to have a real reason. You need to discover what your why is, whatever that is, and then absolutely 100% believe that you can accomplish that why. Whatever it may be, is it a new car? Is it whatever it is? What's your why? And then believe that you can accomplish it, and then set goals to make sure that happens. And you know what? If you can reach your goal in a week or two, good for you. If it takes you a month or two, that's fine. If it takes you a year, it doesn't matter. The time isn't the issue. The issue is believe that you can reach that goal, whatever it is, and then just set your mind to work and get at it. And don't let anything stop you. Don't let anyone steal your dream.
Awesome. And you do accounting, right? That's what you were saying?
That's right.
And so you understand ROI and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely.
So, looking at those type of things and looking at the ROI in this business, is it mind-boggling to you? The amount of operating costs and stuff that businesses have before they even make $1. Share a little bit of that if you could, just real quick.
Sure.
The difference between a conventional business and this business.
Well, perhaps I'll get a little personal if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Recently, I thought, well, I'm an entrepreneur by heart, so I'm addicted to growth, growing whatever business I'm in. And so I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could grow my tax business? And so I purchased another tax business from an accountant who was retiring. In essence, doubled my practice, also doubled my workload. I didn't quite calculate that in the formula when I first made the decision, but that cost me $500,000. It's going to take me several years to pay that off, and it's going to be a long time before I see any profit from that, but yet my workload is extreme because of it. So in a traditional business, you spend hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars, to buy a business or grow a business or expand a business, take over another business. And, the risk is extremely high. In Monavie, it's phenomenal. For, $1,500 or less, you can be set up with, a ton of product to drink and to share, a scanner to go and prove that the products are actually doing what we say they're going to do. And, the return on investment, the ROI, is phenomenal in Monavie. The risk is low, and the return on your money is it can be as high as you want it to be. Yeah,
and that's awesome. And I tell people, when I first got started, Kent, in Monavie, I bought 2 cases, and then the second week I bought 12 cases. We didn't have senior and junior kits back then. That was pretty much the equivalent of a senior kit. And it was like maybe, I don't know, $1,200–1,300. Well, in my first month, I made $1,000. In my second, I mean gross, right? In my second month, I made another $1,000, and by my third month, I was gold, making $1,000 a week, and I haven't paid for my juice in 5 years.
Yeah,
well,
isn't that awesome?
From Hip National, I haven't. I've paid for it through the commissions that Monavie has paid me.
That's right.
And when people say, I tell people, listen, do you know what kind of money you have to have in the bank to generate $1,000 a week? $4,000 a month. There's millions you got to have in the bank just to get that on our interest that we're getting today, which is nothing. And it's just amazing the leveraging. I was in real estate before this, and we taught other people's money and other people's efforts. And it almost equates to this business too, and it's a little bit of everybody helping and working together and the leveraging of it. I mean, I might work, 10 hours a week or whatever in the business, but my organization will do far more than that, And I think that's the magic of networking. And the one last thing I'd like to say is this, and this is really to the people on the call, is that, if you listen to Kent, the guy is working like crazy in his businesses. I think you said earlier in the call, you don't feel you own the business, but the business owns you, right?
That's right.
Right. And so what I want to say is this, guys, that I think many a times when it comes to a business builder that you're looking for to get involved in your opportunity, not to put down a person who might work in retail at a cash register or in a restaurant or anything like that, not to put them down. I'm not doing that. Everybody has this opportunity, has the right to it. But I think unless somebody's done something in life, and I've heard Steve Merritt say this before, he says, hey, have you ever done anything in life that you want at? I don't care if you were the star football player or, a good wrestler or whatever. Try to find something that someone's been successful at and tell them, listen, that's what this is like. A team getting together, getting blinders on, getting focused, and going for something. And that's what, for those of you that are looking for people to build a business, now anybody can drink the product, but when you're looking for someone who wants to build a business, I think we need to be looking for more people like Kent, because Kent's plan was to double the size of his business to ultimately, an entrepreneur's goal, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kent, is to build a nice business so they can someday sell it and then just go relax on the beach or hang out with their family. Am I right, Kent?
That's right. That's the point.
Right. And you even mentioned that you want to sell your business, but I think that that's why everybody gets into that. And I hear it time and time again that they get into it, and it's years later, and they still can't sell their businesses. I mean, they can, but not live the lifestyle they want. They can sell them, but they're not going to have the lifestyle they wanted. And Kent sees the opportunity in Monavie to be able to give him that lifestyle, sell his businesses, and still have a cash flow, right? Still have a lifestyle coming in, maintained by the income generated through Monavie. Am I correct?
That's right. Absolutely. And the other difference, there's a gazillion different business or differences between the two businesses. Like, in Monavie, you don't have staffing issues. You don't have to worry if somebody doesn't show up. There's a lot of things in traditional business that those kinds of headaches just don't even exist in your Monavie business. But one of the other things, too, is Monavie is so fun. Like, my business is no longer fun. Monavie is so much fun because you're just having fun drinking juice and hanging out with your friends.
Right. And you know what? In my experience, some people will come into our business, and 5 people will tell them no, and they can't handle it. They're done. They quit. They're out of here. And I got to think for Kent, someone telling him no is got to be nothing to him. Someone calling off and not coming in, like he just mentioned, staffing issues. Now those are some real issues. But for us, I think the hardest thing we ever have to face is no. And I think many of us face it as a personal rejection. We take it personal, and it's nothing personal. It has everything to do with the person that you're sharing the business or the product with, guys. And I'm just, trying to just pull some nuggets out of Kent's, sharing with us tonight. And I really think that he would agree with me. Someone telling him no has got to be like no big deal compared to what he deals with in his businesses. Am I right?
Absolutely. No is just no. You move on to the next person. And no's not always no. No's like, well, maybe it's not right for me right now. The timing isn't good or whatever. And you just go back to a month later. Remember when I showed you this? Is this something you might be interested later on? I mean, no is a bit, who cares about no? You just move on.
You're still putting in these long days, and yet you're finding time to build this business, right?
Yes. So someone who asks me or says to me, I don't have time, that doesn't fly with me.
Yeah.
We're all busy. Everybody is busy. That's not an excuse.
Right. But the reason you're making time is because you've made a decision. And you made a decision that you want to spend more time with your family, and you see this as a vehicle to do it. And guess what, everybody? Kent is not alone. There are tons of people out there wanting to find a way to be able to spend more time with their family because they're sick and tired of working so hard in their businesses or maybe even at their jobs. And I tell you what, it's going to take that commitment. It's going to take that drive to want more. Because I remember when I used to work at General Motors, and then I would go and work on my rental property, and then I would go and do a conference call and do all these things. And I was even going to college at the time. And the reason I was putting myself through all that is because I wanted more. So, yeah, after a long work day, I'm sure Kent would just like to go home, have dinner, and crash and relax. But instead, he's made the decision that he wants a better lifestyle with his family, with him and his family, so that he is involved with his family. And, Ken, I want to say thanks for coming on tonight and sharing, because I think a lot of what you shared in your story is going to help a lot of people that are in your position and a lot of people that can come into contact with people that are in your position. So the last question I have for you is for the person who approaches you, a business owner, busy in his businesses. What's one tip, if you could give any, or that someone could use for approaching a business owner who might say, "Oh, I'm not looking for a business. I'm not interested." What would you tell them?
I would say that's great, because we're not really looking for people who have nothing to do. We're looking for people who are busy and successful, because we know that they're the kind of people who are going to be successful here. And tell them you can help them.
I love it.
They don't have to do all the work. You can help them.
And you know what else I think on your story is you were active with the product for a year.
Yep.
So right. At the least, guys, I bet that product helped you with your long days. I know an energy drink helps me get focused. So,
yeah.
I think at the least you gotta say, hey, you know what? You need to be on this product, Kent. You put in long hours. You're putting in all this time at your job. Let's get you on the product and start there.
Exactly. And then don't give up on them.
Yeah.
It took me a year to come around to want to build the business.
And look, in 4 weeks you go gold right when you decide to do it. Timing was everything for you, and this was the time for you. So I'm excited for you. You're going to have a lot of fun in Utah. So, hey, maybe we'll get a chance to meet there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love that.
Okay. Kent, thanks so much for coming on the call. Next time we're going to have your wife on. We want to hear from her, too, see how she's doing. But we really appreciate you taking
me. That'd be better than hearing me, I'm sure.
That's okay. Hey, thanks for sharing. Great job, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Wow. So, just goes to show, I really like this call that's going tonight, because here you did have a busy person. And I think there's some of us on this call, I just have this feeling, there's some of us on this call that haven't contacted a few people that may be like Kent. From the outside, they have a nice car, they have a nice a family, have nice things, they have a business, and you may think, man, what would they want with this? Why would they even consider looking at something like this? This person's already got it. And I tell you what, you just really never know where people are at. And so I want to encourage the people on the call tonight to go into your chicken list, or to go into go back and find who are those people that you kind of just wrote off because they just seemed maybe too ultra successful, or they just seemed like, yeah, what would he want with this? Go back, and I'm telling you, approach them. You might be surprised at what you hear. And if that happens for anybody on here, I want to hear about it. Post it in the Facebook group. If you go out and you contact a busy business person or someone that you view that is very successful, that has been on your chicken list as a result of this call, I want to hear about it. Post it in the Facebook group over the next week or so, and we'd love to hear about it. So now next, guys, we're going to have Al and Sherry Huva come on the call, Purple Diamonds from Canada, and it's always a real treat to have them on, so I'm really excited to hear from Al and Sherry Huva tonight. Say hello, guys.
Hey, Wayne, how are you?
Hey, Wayne.
Great, Al, how are you? Hey, Sherry, how are you?
We're great.
Hey, thanks again for hosting the call, and we're so proud of Kent. Kent, you did a great job. And like he said, most of our wives are much smarter than us, so I agree with him on that point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me too. So tell us real quick, I think most people know your story, but just tell us real quick a short version of how you first got started in Monavie, just for anybody who may be new on the call, Al and Sherry.
Right. Well, I'll be honest with you. We tried a different network and tried to build it for 9.5 years, and that's how we actually knew Steve and Gina Merritt. And, we said we would never, ever build another network ever again. And Sherry's pretty adamant about it, and in her background, bookkeeping and accounting, kind of like Kent's, she was very skeptical. So it took Steve Merritt 3 phone calls. First when he made $100 his first week. Then after 3 months, he was making $5,000 a week, and then after 8 months, he was making $20,000 or $17,000 a week. And I just couldn't hold out anymore. I told Sherry, hey, we got to do this thing, and she was really reluctant at first. So I actually had to start building the business by myself, and I worked shift work. I worked shift work at the hockey rink, driving the Zamboni. So I would either work 5 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, or 3 in the afternoon till 1 in the morning. But we just did one-on-ones and went to our friends' houses and said we really don't know much. We just know the juice is helping my friend Steve in Florida. We don't really have any testimonies here, but and we're kind of green at this. We really don't know too much, so don't ask us too many questions. But I think it could work, and I know it might help you for your health, and we could make some money together. Do you want to get on the team with me? And then we just slide in the application form, which is a photocopy of a photocopy. That's all we had. We scribbled on a piece of paper to show them the plan because we really didn't have anything. And they got signed up. And if they didn't, we said, hey, when you're ready to get started, give us a call. And it really didn't take Sherry too long to get fired up because we signed up our first couple people in the first week, first couple days actually, and then we just kept doing the same thing. And, that's basically our story. And, we've told our story many times at all of these, at our tasting parties and one-on-one. And I think that the key thing is in this business is this, like Kent talked about his story, just telling your story, because you can know all the information about the product, but people will really relate to your story.
Right. I like that. So now how long have you been in Monavie?
Well, we're just really getting started because,
Okay.
now that we got the scanner and we got the new guy, the big dog, Mauricio, and,
right.
The company's got it all together. The Jeeps, the iPad promo, black tie, the St. Louis, the Elevate convention coming up in Utah. The company's got it all together. It's just really up to us, and I think Kent hit the nail on the head. It's our business, all of ours business.
Mm-hmm.
So, nobody can really complain about where they're at because the company's got it all together. It's all of us that, if we want to move to the next level, we got to sponsor and help more people, like Kent said.
Gotcha. And, I talked to Steve tonight, and he said, listen, this Jeep that's coming in Utah will be the first of many. Yeah. He said I could leak a little bit. He said, just tell them that it's the first of many Jeeps to come. That they're going to be running out some awesome promotions in Utah, and how that is just so exciting. Now, tell me, what are you seeing? How has things been going with the scanner in Canada? And with the people, any kind of strategies you're developing, anything you want to share, like that you might be saying or doing, because this is still new, right? I mean, it just started in February, so we're still getting data, we're still getting experience with this scanner. What have you noticed and that's been working for you guys out there?
Well, to be honest with you, we had a MVP Canada Council meeting last weekend, and I got some great information on how to actually use the scanner. And it was from my friend Blue Diamond Joe Wack that he talked about. Hey, if you through your list of people that your warm market, and you want to get to a cold market or someone that you just met, ask them for their help. Hey, can you help me? I've got this project with this scanner, and can you help me because I'm practicing and I need to scan some people. Well, really, the key to this whole business is finding out their why. And like Kent mentioned, and using the scanner is another tool to help them find their why. Now, when you scan them, their why may just be health. But as you develop that relationship and chat with them, you may find out that, hey, they don't have the time to play as much golf as they wanted because they're working all the time, or maybe they've got a child that needs some special attention financially and medically. So I think that as far as the scanner is a great tool, and it's a great door opener. And I mean, everybody has their own way of using it. Sherry's a little more orientated towards the product, so we kind of work it together when we're out and about together. We just scanned 4 people yesterday, and they're more health related, but that's fine because they can use the money back guarantee with the scanner. So I don't know if that really answers your question. I use it as a tool, just like we would use a CD, or we would use to open the door.
Gotcha. So Sherry, tell us real quick about your use with the scanner on the health-related side and the money-back guarantee. Tell me a little bit about how you're approaching the person or bringing that through. The guarantee and all that.
For sure. I'd love to. I think the biggest thing is just becoming a better listener, because once you get through your warm market, all your friends and family that and if you've been in the business for a while, we've been in the business actually 7 years, July the 8th. And you know what? I'm just excited because we're finishers, and every business will go through ups and downs, and we're just excited because we already know that our product, everybody on this planet needs our product, but also everybody on this planet needs to have a retirement or a residual income, a backup plan. And that's exactly what it was for us. So just for example, like yesterday, we have a gal that we know, and we have a cabin up at Maple Lake, and we knew we were going to head up there for a couple of days, so I took my scanner with me, and she had told me that she had some health issues in the winter. They're part of a big snowmobile club, and they run a bed and breakfast, and they have a big blueberry farm. They have they're very diversified. But she's a real go-getter, and thought, she has also like a little coffee shop and a cafe there. And when we went to go see her, I just said, hey, Suzanne, how are you doing? She said, oh, I'm doing great. And I said, so how's it going? Because I know when I talked to you last, you weren't doing all that well. You're having some health concerns. And she said, oh, actually 4 weeks ago, I had some surgery. And I'm like, oh, wow. I said, well, how are you doing? I said, man, you look great. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm tough, and things are happening. I said, well, you know what? Remember we talked to you briefly before about our business, about our health product we have, and the opportunity. Well, you know what? This might really help you speed up your recovery in regards to your surgery. I can't really promise anything, but you know what? We'll come back tomorrow after the market, and I'll bring my scanner, and I'll give you the shot of the juice. You can try it. You're going to love it. And we can go from there. She's like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. So sure enough, we came back the next day. Brought her the juice, brought her some EMV. Her daughter was there. We actually scanned 2 other people while we were there, and just making people aware of their health. But like Al said, the scanner really is just a tool. It's a tool so that we can actually get to people and have a way in to chat with them through, a cool contact, just to make a friend. I know she scanned an orange, and so did her daughter as well. And her daughter doesn't like to eat fruits and vegetables, has all kinds of health issues. So I think the biggest thing I'm finding with the scanner, Wayne, is that the fact is that you're not only going to scan the person and find out their color, you're going to pour them the juice, pour them the juice, pour them RVL, whatever they're interested in. But now you're actually going to have to follow up big time, because it's a matter of they kind of know, okay, now what do I do now? So leaving them information, leaving them stuff to follow up with, and leaving your business card, and then, following up, in the day or two. So that's definitely what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going back to follow up. I'm going to sign her mom up, and I know her daughter's going to want to drink the juice. They both need the product. And so really, it's just making a friend and not necessarily jumping on people, but like Al talked about, and I know that Joe talked about, and Lori as well, and we were just talking, just saying, what, when you ask someone for help, they are apt to help you. If you say that you're going to help them, it's kind of a funny thing. People almost feel kind of offended, like, why do you need to help me? But if you ask them for help, they're more open to helping you. So it's a great contact to do that. It's really honestly brilliant because it opens the door to chat with people. It really does help. But that's what we've been kind of doing.
Well, I love that. Sherry, thanks so much for the dialogue. I mean, I think that's so important. People really, I think need to hear these kind of dialogues, you know what I mean? And it just helps someone hear how natural you were and just really caring for a person, hearing that they went through some surgery. And if you listen to what Sherry said, there's a couple of key things in here. You're going to love it or you're going to like it. She puts those in there. You're going to love it. You're going to like it. And those kind of, that positive affirmation, just all that she said there was just so important. And the reason why I asked about how long were they in Montevideo is because you have 16 years of networking experience here. And I just, guys, after being in networking for 16 years now, there's obviously a reason why you're still in it. You love it. You're getting success. It's changed your life. Am I right? I mean, from someone who's been in network marketing for 16 years, tell us a little bit about that. I'm in 5 years, so I'm like just getting, Al says I'm just getting started. Well, I'm not even started then. Well, tell me about 16 years of networking experience, what that's like, not just financially in that, but what has it done for you as a couple? What has it done for you as people, personally, in your personal lives? You know what, Wayne? I think that Kent hit on it, and being an accountant isn't an easy career either, but you kind of get thick skin. Yeah. You don't really let too much bother you. I mean, the problem with the whole social media that I see is so many people know so much about so many things that it's easy to get distracted. I'm not on Facebook. I mean, Sherry, she just was showing me a couple funny pictures today. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I need to stay focused because I don't need any little negative seeds getting in my head and causing me doubt. So that's probably one of the biggest lessons that we've learned in our years of networking. And really, we're all in the people business. And I think probably the key thing is that we have great mentors. We have Steve and Gina Merritt and Charlie and Debbie and Bobby and Linda and Frank and Cindy and those guys. And they all want our success. We all have great uplines or teammates or above people that got in before us, like Kent was saying. But they're all vested to help us all become successful. And I think probably the key thing for us was, and if anybody's on the call and they haven't signed up or made the commitment to go to the Elevate Conference in Utah at the end of August, the first function we went to, we flew from Kelowna, BC, Canada, which is totally on the west coast, all the way to the east coast to St. Augustine. And we had to be gold at the time to go to this special teaching conference. And we didn't go, the function started on Friday. We didn't go gold till that Friday. And we had already bought our tickets, and we were going. We made the decision, like Kent said, hey, 115 points, we're going gold. We did the same thing. But I tell you, it wasn't that something magical came out of that function. What it did is it gave us belief, and we went from a few $100 a week to quite a few $1,000 a week within a few months because our belief was so high coming out of that function that, hey, people, it didn't matter whether they said yes or no. We just said, hey, we're moving on with or without you. And it was just an attitude that expecting it to happen. And just the same thing as black tie. We've been at every single black tie event that they've had so far except for Paris. And I tell you, we're going to be there again. And there's a bunch of teammates of ours. I mean, Sean and Crystal Lyons, Blue Diamonds down at the coast. They qualified for the iPad and black tie.
and Dean and Tanya Pieski at the Coast, and Larry and Jen, who are working with Kent and Nadine. Kent and Nadine are going. Celeste in Red Deer, Alberta. Kevin and Michelle McNutt in Cold Lake. So Alberta in Western Canada is on fire. And Andrea, single mom, just qualified to go. And Dave and Tracy Horvath, and, you know, there's a bunch of people. Patricia Cove in Alberta, you know, single mom, you know. So I think that the key thing is just hanging around with successful people. I flew down to be with Steve Merritt at his event with Mauricio a couple weeks ago in Orlando. And because I need to build, like all of us as leaders, we all need to build our belief. And where do you get your belief from? By hanging around other people that are successful and have the belief. You know, so that's probably the biggest key that I could give people, is that you need to be at the events. We couldn't afford to go to our first function. We figured it out, and we made it happen to go to that event. So, and I will tell you, that event not only changed our lives, our kids' lives. I mean, we were out in the boat today, and I said to Sherry, I said, I could be driving the Zamboni right now, but because we made that decision to get to work and build this business when it was inconvenient, like Kent mentioned, we were able to be out in the boat this afternoon. So
awesome. And I believe Steve was telling me that this weekend you're going to be running a webinar. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you want to give a little plug for that and let people know? I mean, here again, a couple 16 years in the business is putting on in the industry is putting on a webinar. Who better to put your prospects and people in front of? And the idea that I've had with this, Al, is that people would invite people over to their house, have them watch the webinar together, and then be there to sign them up or share the juice with them. What do you think?
Exactly. And the exciting thing about it is sometimes your friends that are the closest to you will not listen to you because they know all the stupid things you've done in life. So here you have someone else building you up and saying, hey, you need to listen to your friend that's sitting right beside you, because this is a big opportunity, and you don't want to miss out on a huge opportunity that could change your life. And, I mean, the webinar is pretty simple. It's basically a home business review or a tasting party, and it's going to be on Sunday. We have a great time, and the exciting thing about it is that you could plug in. It's going to be at 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., and it's going to be in English. If you want to know exactly where it is, whoever is at the meeting that can't understand my Canadian, you have to get an interpreter. And it's on the Monavie event site. You just go to MVP, click on events, click on live view open opportunity webinar. We're going to flip the chart. The only thing that you're responsible when you have your friends at your house is you're responsible to pour the juice, give them a shot. I'm going to say a little thing. Hey, everybody, pour the juice down. Give everybody a shot. Let's have a toast. And then you're responsible for helping them get signed up. And these are all archived. So if you didn't like Sherry and mine, which I guarantee you're going to like, because you'll have fun, you'll laugh and say, holy cow, I'm going to be rich if these guys can do this thing. Well, if Al can do this thing, Sherry's pretty sharp, we're going to be rich. So then you go to watch someone else's. You know, and you can plug them in 24 hours a day.
Awesome. Love it. Anything you guys want to close with? Maybe what you would tell a new person joining, or anything that you want? We're nearing the end of the hour. Anything you guys want to share?
Well, I would just say probably the number one thing is to do something every day for your business. And like Kent said, it's not a race. You just keep going at your pace. And I think one key thing that you said, hey, we've been doing this for 16 years. We weren't successful in the first one, and if you've tried something else before and weren't successful, you might have to do some things you weren't prepared to do in the first one to be successful in the second one. And I like what my friend Joe Wax says. It's all about developing a skill set, and the only way you develop a skill set is to keep doing it. Like my biggest failing point in the networking business was contacting, inviting. And because I practiced, now if you listen to Sherry, it's just natural. We just do it natural at part of our conversation. Listen for a need and say, how could I help this person?
Very good. Awesome. Well, hey, Al and Sherry, guys, thank you so much for coming on the call tonight. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for hosting
and got a lot of good nuggets. Thank you so much.
You bet. Take care.
All right, you too. All right, guys. Well, as we do every Thursday, I'm going to open up the lines. This is Wayne Ullery from Youngstown, Ohio.
Ellen, just a minute ago, Deer Park, New York.
That's from the house.
I wasn't even paying attention what time I left the house. Donna from Phoenix.
Orlando. Angel from New York.
Jennifer from New York.
Orlando. Byron Morgan from San Francisco. Great call. Thank you very much.
Brooklyn, New York.
Jim and Karen Kane, Long Island, New York.
Melanciano, New York.
Alberta.
Angel Melanciano, New York.
Huh?
Saturday afternoon. All right, we'll let you know what time. All the games Sunday.
That's Melanciano.
We'll let you know what time.
NCIANO, New York City.
Okay.